Hey guys, you're watching me do a epoxy 3D beach. I hope you guys enjoy. Here I'm mixing up my sand into my epoxy. Now mind you, this is my first time doing this, but I must say it was a ball. Here I'm spreading my epoxy and sand, and now I'm adding my seashells. Now I want to give it more of a layered effect, so by all means, if you don't want to, make sure you give yourself full coverage of sand on the bottom layer. But me, I went across it again and got a lot of epoxy within my shells to make sure that they are held down, especially the larger seashells. All of the supplies that you see here, besides the heating gun and the blow dryer, is purchased from Michael's. So the canvas, the paint, the seashells, the moss, and the rocks, and even the epoxy is all purchased from Michael's craft store. Here I'm using my fingers to smudge in the water, and I'm trying to create a rippling effect by tapping on the paint. Well, epoxy paint mixture. Since my heat gun didn't have didn't have enough pressure, I made sure that I went ahead and I got my blow dryer, and that helped me create a lot of force, pushing ripples into the epoxy, giving it more of a wave effect. This was also my first time doing this, and I must say it turned out pretty darn good. Before I add my layer of colors, I'm the ones that I plan on pushing with the heat, I am adding a clear first. So the first cup that you've seen was clear, and then I added my blue, and that's going to help the epoxy glide without blending into the bottom layer. Here I'm adding a little pixie dust onto my water, just so they can have a little shimmer effect. I'm not adding much because I don't want it to be extremely feminine, but just enough to add a little touch of a glisten, like a clear buttery glisten shining against the sun effect. Now I'm ready to add the rocks and the trees. I'm using my clear epoxy to go over this area, and I'm going to use the epoxy as a glue. I like the matte that's on the rocks, so I don't want a lot of gloss on the rocks, so I'm not going over it with epoxy. This is a work in progress. I'm actually not exactly sure if I'm going to add more details to the sunset or not. But you can always check out my website, www.nyjabeecrafty.com, to see how I definitely spruce this up. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you can use this as an example for a masterpiece of your own. Toodles. Like, share, and subscribe.